Welcome to another episode of Scaranoia. We got another banger episode. You know how I know? Because it is I, Hugs, and I am along with Chris and Jared as always. And we got some really cool things we're going to talk about today. Everybody seems to be enjoying the format we're doing. We're kind of just talking, vibing, hanging out like we would, kind of in a voice call. So we do have a few things that we want to go over, but we're just here to hang out and talk about the things that interest us and hopefully interest you. And Jared, I know you are going to want to talk about some of our like most favorite top five, maybe least favorite, most favorite horror movies of the year. Chris, you have a cool thing you want to talk about Elvis Presley, maybe still alive. But I want to kick off the show with something specifically for Jared he may not have heard of, because I know you're interested in this. Did you know, my friend, Malaysia just happened few days to like 2 days ago, I think, said they're resuming the search for Flight 370 2 days ago.
Dude, it's because
so
of us.
Literally, someone saw our podcast.
It's because of us, man.
And they're like,
bro,
we're resuming it.
We literally just talked about how it was sketchy. It was a little suspect that, they found a little bit, and then I think the right eyes fell on that, and they're like, dude, this gets out there, and
they're like,
start to question it.
Some really fat dudes from the internet.
Dude, soon enough we're gonna be getting like cease and desist letters. Like,
that's right. Big Gamble called them. But at first I saw this and it was like one of those websites that you're like, it's like, you don't trust the news. So I looked into it. CNN, BBC, Reuters, there you go, and NPR are all reporting on this. So this is legit. This is the real deal. Says after a decade that they're agreeing to resume the search. So that's absolutely crazy. I thought you guys would dig that.
That's for sure.
Something else I wanted to talk about. Apparently, there was an investor, Mark Anderson, who was talking about Open AI, which is a company that owns ChatGPT, that they were having these conversations with the government, basically saying, this entrepreneur is saying that Joe Biden and the Biden administration is putting things in order to favor certain AI companies to give them like specific,
Makes sense.
benefits,
That makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, it was always going to be that way, There's going to be one that comes around that's, like, all mandated by the government and all that shit. Like, it just makes sense.
I'm thinking, like, not even just the government, but the military, okay? The military is always number one in tech, okay? Military had, like, cell phones and, like, they had sat phones and all that stuff long before consumer level, laptop technology in the military was a huge thing. So it's like, what are they using? They're like, what are our defense and intelligence agencies using? What type of AI? Because they're using AI.
They have to be, right? Like, I feel like they're using like stuff that is beyond our realm of understanding. In a sense, like there has to be some way that it's applicable to them that we will never like see or like be accustomed to, because that would just be too much.
Anyway.
The military's already got GTA 6, probably.
Oh,
Side
dude.
note, true. Side note, we are recording this right before Christmas. Chris and I both are rocking, it's like AEW. But Chris and I are both rocking, that's not related at all to anything that we talked about in the podcast, but I do have something that I saw was cool. But we're recording this right before Christmas. You're watching it right after Christmas. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Merry whatever. Happy Yule, all that. The thing I wanted to mention to you, Jared, we are going to start a pro wrestling podcast if anybody's into pro wrestling. AEW just announced they're going to be streaming on Max starting January 1st. That's a huge thing. WWE's going on Netflix. AEW's like, we're hitting it back. We're going on HBO Max. That's huge.
One,
Oh, that was
I feel
super
like
cool.
I feel like they're getting smarter with these things, you know, like going to streaming services, especially for pay per views, because AEW, while it puts out a great product, not every person is going to want to pay $60 a pay per view. This isn't like
True.
the late 90s, early 2000s anymore. What, Jared?
I will say this:
Personally, someone,
one company did not have to beg to go to a streaming platform, and the other one,
yeah, WWE.
no, it was WWE begged at Netflix door knocking on it.
But some people I know, not me, I would never do such a thing. Would sometimes use a VPN and connect to a different country that they charged much less for the pay per views. So you could theoretically get a pay per view for like $5 or $10.
I also know someone that goes.
But
One of my ex friends used to go on watch wrestling.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
those don't go on those illegal streaming sites. Okay, but moving on to another topic because this is not a pro wrestling podcast, but be looking out for that because we are wanting to get into that in the new year. We all met from that background, of course. I have a conspiracy theory, and this is going to be my last one. But this is my conspiracy theory, personally, a Hugs original. Okay?
Oh.
So if you guys are going to spread this, I was thinking about this. Okay? TikTok is getting banned. Okay? You see all those NPCs, like the Miles Morales and all that, where like, tasty bagel, tasty bagel,
Thank you
whatever
for
it
the
is. I don't know.
roses.
Yeah. Oh, those smell amazing. Okay. But anyway, anyway, so you got all these NPCs. TikTok's going to get banned. Okay. What are they going to do with their life? This is my thought process. We all live in a simulation, right? We all know that theory. Okay. So do we all live in a game? Is this how NPCs become a thing? The TikTok NPCs, they don't know what to do. So now there's no camera. Now they just literally exist in the world saying these NPC phrases and they just exist as NPCs. And then we find out we're all in a game. We're the main characters. Those are the NPCs. This is how we find out it really is a simulation. Those are real NPCs.
I agree. I could see that to a point. However, NPC Miles Morales has went from NPC to main character after
He's
his
Free
show.
Guy. You ever see Free Guy?
Yes,
The NPC that wakes up?
Yes. After seeing him on like Kaisenat stream and everything, like I'm like, nah, bro, this is that dude. He's that.
He is awesome. I did make a whole video about him because he's like one of my favorite people to watch. Just because, like, have you ever seen him when he's doing his? If you haven't seen him, it's like Dre Leaks or something I'll have
Leaks
to
World,
find
I
it.
think.
Leaks World, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's NPC Miles Morales. You can find him all over if you just search NPC Miles Morales. But yeah, because it's Malik or something, right?
I think so,
is
yeah.
his name? I think so. But anyway, NPC Miles Morales is about that life because like he was straight up like I saw one time he's getting questioned by the cops and like he ran away. They like asked him for all his info and he like ran. And then there's like people that press him when he's just like chilling on a corner and he like pops off. Have you seen any of this, Jared? Do you even know who we're talking about?
I've seen him a few times. Anytime I see his videos, I put not interested because he sucks.
Bro, I think he's hilarious. Like the NPC stuff's whatever, but I think he personally is hilarious. But I'm telling you, this is how the NPCs started. This is the took an arrow to the knee guy. You know, this is all the classic NPCs. This is how it all starts.
Yeah, I could see that.
I hope so. 'Cause if I see somebody over there talking about roses while I'm walking down the street, I'm just decking them.
What if they're next to some roses? What if it's like an
Yeah,
old
what
lady
if
who
they're
just
literally,
planted
like-
the roses
Dude, it was the old lady I'm
Roses.
Stone Cold stunning her.
Oh my
on the
God.
roses?
Yeah, I'll Stone Cold stunning anybody for fireworks. Shout out Ian if you're watching.
There you go. Shout out. And if that shout out's for him, you have to tell him. Okay. Also, shout out to anybody playing Sophie on Discord. If you are, join our Discord. Okay, Jared. Well, actually, because we're moving off of conspiracy theories. Chris, you want to talk about your conspiracy theory that you heard
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, okay, so I was on TikTok, right? And TikTok doing its thing, obviously it knows that we do this because it decided to feed me a video that really has had me thinking for the last week, okay? And it was that there's this mental patient, I can't remember where, but
His name Jared.
It could be. No, it's very close. I believe it's Jesse. What's it? It's Jesse. Yeah, Jesse. Um, who swears that he is Elvis, right? Now, Elvis's family has refused to release the details of his death until like 2037. It's
I thought he
it's like
died on the toilet.
some, I don't know, man. But apparently, what they're saying is that this dude has been saying that he is Elvis. So they're like, a doctor was like, well, why don't we go ahead and test his like genetics, is like DNA against Elvis? Almost an exact match. And they're like, let's go one step further. Let's test his DNA against Elvis's parents. Almost an exact match. And
That's
they're
wild.
just like, what the heck? So the conspiracy is like, the fame got too much for him because we saw in like the movie and stuff, like the way they portrayed it. It was just, he just couldn't handle it anymore. So he faked his death and now he's in a mental
How?
hospital.
Here's my question: how did they get the genetics of Elvis's
That's what I
family?
was wondering too. How did they get his
Because
parents'
it's not
DNA?
like they could just be like, "Oh yeah, here's their DNA to test."
Maybe they have it on file.
Who?
But like, and
Just the
apparently
DMV?
the name he's using is the what?
I said just the DMV. Like just randomly, like who's got it? Like who's got their stuff on file? Like it's got a Rolodex of Elvis's family DNA.
Hey, I mean,
This ain't an R. Kelly video. No, that's crazy though. That I definitely feel like I don't know. We talked about this before. I feel like if anybody, it'd be Tupac, but Elvis would probably be the second one.
I could
If I
see.
thought anybody that's still alive,
I
Elvis
could.
was like the OG. Everybody said
Yeah.
like that celebrity's still alive. I can't think of one before that or a different one like as big.
I used to hear.
Because we just got the thought bubbles.
Did I really?
He was like,
Oh, I thought you meant like when you do the thumbs up on the iPhones and stuff.
no, you just got the little thought
Yeah.
bubbles. I don't know.
Because
I
I'm
think
trying
it's
to
because
think
when you
of like.
scratched your arm, you did a thumbs up.
I'm trying to think of like who bigger or before him because
Well,
like
because after him, like Michael Jackson's arguably
yeah, I was
as
gonna say I
big
heard a lot of
that
Michael
people say.
Jackson. I would definitely say
But I'm saying celebrity like Marilyn Monroe. I hear on occasion.
yeah.
Some people are like Marilyn
Very
Monroe is.
I could see that.
But I would say Tupac, and I wish Juice WRLD was alive, man. He's still releasing all that music, so
Hey man, he was just in Fortnite, okay? How'd they get
rest in
those
peace, Juice
moves
WRLD.
if he wasn't alive, alright? I'm just saying, Epic knows something.
You know what they know is how to release cosmetics separately, so you don't get the emotes and you don't get all the
Yeah.
stuff together when you buy a package. A bundle is a bundle. Epic Games, learn. That's why you have to pay like $174 million.
Yeah, Epic, I want my money.
Learn your lesson. If you haven't joined the class action lawsuit, you have
I
until
need
like
to do that.
January
I
10th.
haven't done
So
it
make
yet.
sure you do that.
Oh, well,
You
I
have
haven't
until like
done it
January
yet.
10th, 2025.
Jared was supposed to help me find my Epic ID.
I will tonight.
I have done it.
Alright.
I can help you as well if you need help with
Okay.
that. If you guys need help with it, find a friend.
Join
that can
the
help you.
Discord.
I don't know.
Join the
If you
Discord.
join the Discord, I could probably help you out, but I'm not. You can't just randomly just hit me up in the comments and be like, "Help me find."
I got his number if anybody
That's
wants
just
it.
annoying.
If anybody wants his
Yeah,
number, I got
that's
it.
true.
Call him all hours of the night. He'll help you out.
That's why I have two phone numbers. I got two phones. Speaking of, we've never talked about Kevin Gates on the show. Okay, Kevin Gates has got some crazy stuff. We
He
can
does.
have a whole episode on Kevin Gates. But like supposedly the man said he started he jump started a car with just his bare hands. Like he just put his hands on the battery. And he's like he like swears like may his kids drop dead or whatever that like he and they're like what did you say after, and he's like speak not of this or something, like some weird.
I think Kevin Gates sold his soul, brother.
No, he's
He
a
talked about like
freak,
his kid
bro.
being like a witch or something, like
Kevin
talking about
Gates
doing
is a
magic,
freak,
like
bro.
his kid doing magic. He is a freak, Kevin Gates got a certain type of
Oh
hello.
my god! Wait, your eyes.
um,
That needs to be a gif.
but anyway, I also need to clean my glass. I didn't realize till I took my glasses off how dirty they are.
My
I don't have my
glasses.
glasses cleaning thing. If I get stung by bees now, that makes me think of like his glasses. He can't see
He
without his
needs his
glasses.
glasses. He was gonna be an acrobat. Oh man, why are we laughing at that? One of the saddest deaths in movie history.
I don't care. Shouldn't have been home alone. Okay. Moving on from all of these conspiracy topics and whatnot, rigmarole, Kevin Gates being a little, Jared. Jared, let's talk about horror movies.
What type? With a
Okay,
W or an
so
H?
so Jared, we are going to talk about the 2024. I want to give a few different things. So one, I want your top 5 horror movies of the year. Give me some that you didn't like, and then I know you wanted to go over some honorable mentions. So let's start first off with some you didn't like.
So, I have seen 53 total horror movies this year.
Jesus.
Nosferatu's still coming up, so that's definitely going to be another. I'm going to try to hit about 60. I'm going to try to punch them out next week after I get done with the Christmas shit. So I want to watch 60 horror movies by the end of the year. But 53 so far as of recording. And the absolute bottom of the barrel, the worst movie I have ever seen. Not only just worst movie of 2024, but worst movie I have ever seen is The Mouse.
Birdman.
No, The Mousetrap. The Mousetrap was absolutely terrible. The directors that made that movie should never be allowed to put anything on screen ever again.
Is that the Mickey? That's the Mickey Mouse one, right?
It is.
Okay.
Terrible acting, no gore, all the kills were off screen. Just absolutely terrible writing, a terrible script, like disgusting. Another
Are you a
trash.
fan? Well, I was gonna say, are you a fan of these like movies where they're coming out with all the characters and stuff like that? Because they did Winnie the Pooh, they've done.
Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 is better
Yeah,
than Winnie the Pooh
that's
Blood
a
and Honey, the first one.
2024 movie that was really good. Was Winnie the Pooh,
Oh
Blood and Honey
yes, I
too.
agree. That
Um,
was like
What are some of the other ones they've come out with that are like these old characters?
that's
Because
really
didn't
the only
they?
two so far because we have like Pinocchio, Bambi, all that coming out next year.
Okay, okay. I just keep hearing people saying they're making these movies with these
Yeah.
old characters.
There's another. What's that one guy? The Sailor Man guy, Popeye.
They Popeye, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they'll come out with one of those next year. I guess
So what?
It's a Wonderful Knife was a play on It's a Wonderful Life. That was really good. I watched last night.
I want to see
Okay.
that.
So what are some other ones you don't like? You don't like the Mickey Mouse one, Mousetrap?
Yeah, a movie that I was really anticipating that was absolutely terrible was Night Swim. It was the first movie that I watched this year. I was excited to finally go to the theaters and see it. I was kind of hyped about it. Should have knew better. It was Blumhouse and January Horror. The Blumhouse movies are trash, and January Horror is trash 95% of the time. Uh, and it was just a bunch of nothing. A bunch of nothing characters with stupid dialogue and a shitty plot. Just not good. And you can say the same about Imaginary. Another Blumhouse shitty PG-13 movie that's trash. I don't know if you ever
What did
watched.
Blumhouse come out with that is good? Because I know that name. Like I know Blumhouse, so they have to
Blumhouse
have
did
come out with
Black
something
Phone,
that I
didn't
like.
they?
Yeah, now that one was good. Black Phone was good, but Blumhouse is normally for every good movie they have 20 terrible movies. They also
So
come out
it's M Night Shyamalan.
pretty much.
I
Like
like M Night Shyamalan. All
he
right.
has like a good movie and then a trail of like just trash.
Hey man, it's a shotgun method. Okay, everything can't be good.
Another really shitty movie that people have overhyped. Like I don't understand why people are saying this
I know where
movie is
this is
good.
going. I know where this is going.
Smile 2, absolutely trash. If you enjoy that movie, maybe get checked out, you know? Like, it's not good. It's if they cut maybe 40 minutes off of it, maybe it would have been good. Um, too long. Some other bad ones was Trap. It was trash. Strangers Chapter 1 is trash. I Saw the TV Glow is trash. Tarot and then A Violent Nature are them are like the biggest pieces of trash of the year.
In a violent nature, okay, like I know I'm not the expert on this like Jared is, but I did go see that in theaters and I was horrified. It was so shit. It was bad. It was terrible. It was bad directing. The concept was phenomenal, but the camera work was horrible. The acting was subpar. Yeah.
I'm
And I
gonna
Oh,
went off
rely on the
Jared's rec.
comments to tell me whether this is correct or incorrect. I'm relying on all the people. You know, maybe I'll clip this. We'll put this on TikTok and some other place so people can tell me because I don't know. I've only watched one horror movie this year, like new one, and that was probably, hopefully, going to be in one of your later lists
it
here.
will be.
But I watched it only because of you.
It will be.
I was like, you know what it is because I watched it because of you.
But I will say
But no, I
one
watched
thing.
two. I watched two newer
Frogman.
movies.
You watch Frogman.
Yeah, because I watched Frogman.
I will say one thing with an
S-
nonviolent nature. It has one of the greatest kills in horror movie history. The
Yes,
yoga
I will give
scene
you that.
with
The yoga scene.
minus that was my favorite kill of the year for the longest time this year. Up until I'm sorry if you've not seen Terrifier 3. It's been out for months. It's on streaming. The rat scene. I hate
you
rats.
told me about that.
I absolutely hate rats. That kill absolutely disgusts me, but I'll talk about Terrifier 3 more down the line.
Jared, I want to put a pause on that just real quick, and we're going to get into some of your honorable mentions next. But I do want to say, shout out to this rapper who will absolutely never watch a show, but I absolutely love him. His name is BLP Kosher. I played him for Crispy. He's a Jewish rapper from Florida. Like, his main thing is, like, he's a Jewish rapper. It's, like, a big deal. But, he had a line. He released a song right after you and I talked, and you had explained that scene to me because you have a thing about rats or whatever. And the next day, he released a song, and I only got this lyric because you said that. But he said, "Put the pipe down her throat like Terrifier 3," and I was like, "Oh snap!"
Dude, kills don't like gore don't fuck with me. Sorry, gore don't mess with me. But that scene there really messed me up. Like absolutely, like holy crap, that kill was
Okay,
phenomenal.
I can't watch this movie because if something messed you up, I have a much
Well,
weaker
it's because
stomach
of
than you.
rats. It was because of rats.
Yeah, 6ix9ine made an appearance.
Another great kill that I gotta mention is from the movie Stream. If you haven't seen it, sucks to suck. It's been out since August. You have no excuse. They literally take a knife and carve tic tac toe on this guy's chest and place tic tac toe on his chest. Absolutely phenomenal. Another great kill this year.
It's pretty messed up, and that's from a movie called Stream.
Stream, yeah. It's made by the same people that made the Terrifier movies.
What is the synopsis of that movie? Because like I like a lot of those movies that are kind of, is it found footage? What is it?
Okay, no. So these people go away on a vacation, and then they somehow end up on this game show at this hotel, and the game show is them getting killed off.
That
It's
sounds
really
dope.
good. It's
You're
really
That's
good.
recommend. I was
horrible
gonna
to
say,
say, but that
is
sounds
this
like
one
a
of your
good movie.
is this one of your
Yeah,
honorable
yeah. It's
mentions?
actually let's see. It's actually my number 8 movie of the year. So yeah, I definitely
Okay.
do recommend it. It's
So
it's.
do you got a couple more honorable mentions, and then we'll do a top five?
I do. I want to talk before I get to my honorable mentions. I want to talk about some movies that people might have missed. That you know, um, The Watchers. M Night Shyamalan's daughter did that. It was pretty good. Stupid Games. It's on Momitu. It's really good. Like it's under the radar. Let's see what else we got on here. Speak No
Radar.
Evil. Speak No Evil is trash too. Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Pizza Panic Party. It's made by a group of YouTubers on here. I forgot the YouTuber's name, but it's a 9 minute short and it's absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's really, really good. It's like disgusting. It gave me Evil Dead vibes. Huge Evil Dead fan. That's my favorite short of 2024 is Pizza.
It was
Fuck.
by Gorgasma.
Gorgasma. Also, Victor Gabriel did Blood Gorge. It's really good as well. I think Victor Gabriel did it. I might be wrong on that. He might have did Frogman. I think he did Frogman. One of them. That's called. When I first started TikTok, I reviewed so many movies. It's called Blood Gorge. I think it's Victor Gabriel actually. Don't know about that one, but I know it's on there. Let's see here. All You Need Is Blood. All You Need Is Blood is a
I was
fun.
wondering when that was gonna come up. I'm sitting here like,
I don't know if people missed that one. It was a fun zombie comedy. Really good. Had a
dude,
lot
it
of.
was like the first time I'd ever seen a movie that was like horror comedy with a little bit of family mixed in there. You know, like a whole
You
family
haven't seen
element to
Shaun of the Dead?
it.
Yes, love Shaun of the Dead.
Bro, we got to watch Shaun of the Dead together. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Shaun of
I've
the Dead
always
goes
heard good
hard.
things. It just never. I don't know, I'm the
Plus,
worst at
Simon Pegg
watching.
is just phenomenal in
I'm the
everything.
worst at
So,
watching new movies. Like I just fall in that rut of like comfort stuff. So
so many of my like top 5 favorite movies are horror based, which I think is hilarious that I watch so few horror movies nowadays. But it's like it can't compare.
And my last like movie that you might have missed that was really good is Low Lives. It was a Tubi original and had no reason to be as good as it was. Low Lives is one of my favorite movies of the year as well.
Okay. So do you want to get into some of your honorable mentions for the top ones?
I do. Obviously, first Frogman, my favorite found
Okay.
footage, the best found footage movie of the year. It was really good. Let's see here.
It's been a slow year.
Yeah, really just VHS Beyond and Frogman, I believe, was the only two, and Milk and
VHS
Cereal.
Beyond was phenomenal. I
Yeah,
saw that one,
VHS Beyond was phenomenal for sure. That's
and I
Is it
another
on
usually
one.
don't
Shutter?
like.
Or...
It is on Shutter,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, and I usually don't like the like alien aspect of it because I'm on like certain alien movies just don't hit. Like they're overly like, but that one, Chef's Kiss.
It was really good. It was really good for sure. My favorite, like, well, one of my favorite, like, horror comedies of the year, Lisa Frankenstein. It
Oh,
absolutely went so hard. I'm a huge
owned
Catherine
it.
Newton fan. I love Cole Sprouse, and their chemistry on screen was probably my favorite of the year between two main characters. I think it was really, really good. It was really well done. I love the vibe of it. That was probably my
Yeah.
favorite part. Just the whole vibe of Lisa Frankenstein was really good. You seen that one, didn't you, Crispy?
Yeah, yeah. We actually watched that one together. You introduced it to me for the first time, I believe, and I did not know what to expect, but it turned out to be one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah, it was really good. Another movie that kind of flew under the radar for me. I knew nothing about it going in, like absolutely zero about it. Me and my buddy Taylor just decided to go to the movies one day and watch Cuckoo. And it's a movie that I can't really talk about because I'll give a lot of it away. And I want you to see it, Crispy, and I want you to see it, Hug, because I think you both would like it. It's, Jewel from Euphoria, Crispy?
Yeah.
She plays the main lead in it, Hunter Schafer, and she does a
Oh, hell.
phenomenal job. And just whenever you think it's going one way, there's a plot twist in the middle of the movie that absolutely diverts your direction in the other way, and then it comes back this way, but just whenever you least suspect it, and it's oh, dude, so good, so good. And my last couple honorable mentions here. Let's see. Give me 1 minute, guys. Horror movies. I mean, I've seen too many of them this year. Yeah, I have four more honorable mentions. Alien Romulus. Um, Huge Alien fan. Like I love the Alien franchise. Alien Romulus was absolutely phenomenal. I think Rain's better than the I can't remember the final girl's name in the first one. Ripley. She's better than Ripley. Rain did a phenomenal job. She actually is one of my favorite final girls of all time now. She did great. Late Night with the Devil, absolutely phenomenal. Just
Oh,
Was
that
that a
was this year?
2024 release?
it was 2024. It
Well,
released
then
in
I've
March.
seen another one from this year.
Dude,
What did that?
Late Night with the Devil was
Great.
great.
Oh my
Like
god, man, that's top five for me of the year for sure.
just the atmosphere in it. Just I love like the
The
contrast.
aesthetic.
Yeah, the aesthetic. I love the contrast from when they're doing like the quote
The
unquote
live
talk
show.
show and then the black and white behind the scenes footage. It was just,
Yeah,
and
it was a really good blend.
that last 15 minutes is bonkers.
Dude. Yeah.
And then here with my, let's see, Quiet Place Day One. Got to mention that one. I forgot to put it on my list, but it was really good.
Hmm.
You liked it, didn't you, Crispy?
That was yeah. I never seen the other Quiet Place movies, and I was like worried I would have to like I wouldn't be informed. But with that being the way it was, like you got the full backstory, so you really
I've
were.
seen the other ones. I haven't seen the newest
Dude,
one,
only
so I
movie.
could probably go into it.
Yeah, it's the only movie to make me cry this year. Only movie to make me cry this year. There's a scene in it that's just like, oh, dude, so good, so good. The emotional acting by the main characters is really well done, and the cat, bro, the cat was the main star.
Oh,
The
the
cat
cat
was,
really was the star of the movie.
and then my final one that barely missed out on my top five, Hugs, Long Legs. Movie is absolutely phenomenal though. Like this is
I
just
love that movie.
it's just been such a stacked year for horror. It barely missed out. Um, I Nicolas Cage is one of my favorite actors, and he absolutely killed it in the role. Like just, and it was all over TikTok. It was marketed well, and it's one of the best of the year by far.
unless unless you're Taylor complains, who absolutely hated it.
Oh yeah,
Shout out to Taylor though. I love Taylor's.
speaking of
Oh,
Taylor
me too.
complaints, another honorable mention because I deleted it. Strange Darling.
This man just honorable mentioning like every movie release of the entire year.
Dude, it was such a stacked year, bro.
All right,
Shout
now
out
if these are the
100% to Taylor though.
yeah, I love Taylor. Wish he was around more. Taylor, if you're watching us as you are,
We
come
need
around
to have
more.
you
We
back in the
miss you.
pod, brother. We need
We
to have you
do.
back in the pod.
We do.
But because this is one movie I can actually talk about, I will talk about it. I went and saw it in the theater. It's the only movie I went and saw in the theater the entire year.
I see like
Actually,
100.
did I might have gone to one more. But anyway, thought it was super good. Like Nicolas Cage, I think adds a lot to it to the point where it's like he is a huge part of it and also not at the same time because it's not overtly like, oh, this is Nicolas Cage the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that like the character is such like an eclectic, like eccentric vibe. Like it's very like 80s kind of aesthetic. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's such like a unique movie. The way that it was shot and the way that the character is portrayed, and I did enjoy it. But it was just a very weird, kind of cerebral
Yeah,
experience.
exactly. It like almost mind messed you up. You know what I mean? He was so creepy in it.
Psychological.
Yeah, it is so good, man. Didn't care for the religious aspect though. That's what knocked it
No.
down a few points for me. But now getting into my top five.
Sometimes it adds a creep factor for some people if it has that. So it makes it creepy for some people.
For sure, for sure. Just not a big religious horror fan, really. Um, but getting into my top five of the year. Number five is a Shudder original, Azrael. Azrael is a silent movie that has, I think, one line of dialogue. One line of dialogue, but it has Samara Weaving in it. She's one of my favorite actors. She plays an absolute badass final girl that gets put through the absolute ringer, but just comes back from everything and kicks ass at the very end. Azrael, number five, one of the best movies of the year. Okay. My number four, number three is just like this. It's so close, but I think officially I'm going to put number four as the Hulu original, Mr. Crockett. This movie,
I've heard a lot about this.
So
yeah,
good.
it is.
Me and Jared watched it when it dropped.
We did.
Like we were within the first like what 5 to 10 people to put out reviews on it.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. But just, I love the Mr. Crockett character. Just,
Yep.
there's some great unalivings in it. I don't know how to do. I'm used to saying unalivings because of TikTok lingo, you know.
You're fine with it. That's good. Yeah, that's fine.
um, some great gore and just the Mr. Crockett character was just done so unique.
Yeah.
If you're a pro wrestling fan, it gave you the Firefly Funhouse vibes, and I
Yeah.
thought that was really
It
cool,
100.
really cool.
And as somebody who watched us alongside him, it was like the story itself was so unique because it's like, imagine like Mr. Rogers meets Freddy Krueger. That's the best way
That's
I
what
can
it was.
explain it. Like that's exactly what it was. Culminated perfectly. The acting, phenomenal. Story, effects, everything. And looks. I mean, from what it looked like at the end, they set up for a sequel. So I would be very interested to see what route that takes.
There's a sequel in the works, by the way.
Fuck yeah.
2026, most likely.
I'm
Frick
excited to watch this. Also, one of the things I want to do in the coming year, especially as Scaranoia continues to grow, is I do want to make a thing to watch at least one horror movie a month
yeah.
going into the next year. So I watched, a few this last year. I watched a few with you guys. I want to at least watch one a month with you guys so I can talk about it on the pod.
Definitely down. Definitely down. Maybe one day doing a commentary track on our Patreon once we get that set up down the road.
I am down with that. Yeah, I'm down with that. 100%.
But in number 3 is Terrifier 3. Okay, does this movie have much of a story, really? Kind of. But does it have just the most downright nastiest, disgustingest kills of the year? Yes. Yes, it does. It has the shower scene that was just... Was it too much? Probably. Probably too much. But was it absolutely phenomenal? 100%. And then also Sienna Shaw submitted herself as the most badass final girl of all time. And she's the greatest final girl. You can talk about your Laurie Strode, you can talk about your Nancy Thompsons, you can talk about your Sidney Prescotts. None of them have shit on Sienna Shaw. By far, she is absolutely badass. They have the rat scene that's just... Oh, man. Like, just... It gives me the creepy crawlies. Like, I got goosebumps. I don't know if they pick up on camera just thinking about it. I went to the theaters twice
Wasn't that
to see this
It
movie.
was the face, bro. Like,
For me, it was the tea kettle.
Also, spoiler alert for this movie as well. Chris Jericho dies in it. So if you hate AEW, watch it.
I can't hate AEW. They got the Costco
I
guys who bring the bowl.
I will say from watching Terrifier 1 and 2, but not watching 3 yet, like you saying, was it too much? Yes, but also it was like, whatever you said, I was like, that explains Terrifier just in general. It
True,
is
Yeah,
way
true.
too much. It is more than,
100%.
I love
like,
it though, man. I went to a packed theater to see it, which is really cool. Cause I remember going to see Terrifier 2 a few years ago on opening night. No one was there. I went and seen it again that weekend. Nobody was there, and to finally see, just a small movie get this like this huge following is really cool. You know what I mean? Like, but also I'm a day one of Terrifier, so get on my label, guys. Now we're down to the top 2, and
okay.
I've been flip flopping on both of these movies since I watched my last recent movie, my theater watch. Like, I don't know what to go here, but since I'm put on the spot here, and number 2 is Y2K. This
I'm
movie,
so excited to watch this. I want to watch this. I know you're going to spoil it, but you
no, I'm
have
not.
to. But
There's not much I can
I want to see
spoil,
that
really.
too.
It is so it's about a party that happens on New Year's Eve of 1999. And if you don't know what Y2K is, are you living under a rock? Because it's been 50 years since then or some shit like that. Um, I'm just kidding. I was born in 1999,
Oh.
guys. It's been a quarter of that. It's been a quarter of that. I'm 25
Wait,
years
hold
old.
on, hold on. How are you going to sit there and say that it was 50 years ago when you were born in 1999? So does
hold,
that make you 50
hold,
years old?
hold on,
Pretty
hold on.
much.
No, 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 no. You just skipped over something. You just said 50 years ago, and then you said it was a quarter of that.
25. 25. 25 years.
25 would be half of that.
See, that's why I'm not a
You're
math.
thinking 25 cents is a quarter.
Yeah. That's why I'm a
It's like,
podcaster, not a
okay, here we go.
mathematician, guys.
True.
But no,
We do
just
have the numbers man who watches, so I'm pretty sure he will rage in the comments. Shouts out to ACP.
well,
ACP is 25 a quarter of 50. Yes, yes.
Y2K though, just the whole vibe of it. also, there's really good chemistry between all the main characters. And I'm a big horror comedy guy. The horror aspect of it absolutely hits. There's some amazing effects. There's some robot designs in there. It's just like, holy shit. There's some scenes in there. It's just like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. And then the comedy aspect of it is absolutely hilarious. The soundtrack of it is phenomenal. I'm not going to spoil the cameo, but I guess it wasn't a cameo because I guess it was announced before. But I went in not knowing anything about it. There's a cameo in there where I absolutely got up out of my seat and cheered, and I never do it at a theater. There's a cameo in there that was just like, what the hell, what the hell, and like the whole theater erupted. Like it was really cool to see. And Y2K phenomenal. I've not heard anyone else talk about it. Like no one else on Horror Talk has really talked about it at all. So I guess it's going under the radar. But if you haven't watched Y2K, watch Y2K. It is absolutely phenomenal.
I do want to see it. I want to watch it really bad, actually.
Oh, now we are at Jared's number one movie of the year. Drum roll.
This is the main event.
That hurt.
Crispy, before I guess it, Crispy, can you guess my number one?
Can I guess your number one?
Yeah.
Well, there's one.
Does it fuck?
No, it doesn't.
No. No.
I would. There's something in there I would for sure, but
So I'm gonna do some whatever thinking here. So there's one movie you
I'll
have
do
not.
some
I'm trying to
thinking.
think of the Sherlock Holmes term for like
Deductive reasoning.
well,
that's
don't
yes.
talk about my uncle like that.
Right.
Anyways, there's one movie you haven't talked about. I didn't think it would be your number one for the year though. And I'm assuming this is a movie that I just it was really hard for me to stomach, right?
It was.
Okay. Go ahead. Unless you want me to announce it.
Number one is The Substance. Like, it is vile. It is disgusting. It's a body horror movie. It starred Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, and just the acting in it is really good. It's a horror movie that's actually like a lot of people are talking about, which is really good.
Very psychological too.
It really is. Like, if you have not watched The Substance is about this woman who is like a dance yoga instructor, majigger thing, and she's getting old, right? She's getting too old, she's getting less hot, but Demi Moore's always going to be hot, let's be completely honest. So, she finds this thing called The Substance, and what The Substance does is it lets you become your younger self again, kind of, right? But you can only be that for 7 days. So you had to have 7 days in your new body and then 7 days in your old body, right? And if you don't actually follow that, bad shit happens. And there's a point in this movie that just turns into just insanity, like absolute off the wall insanity. Like I said, it's vile, it's disgusting, and it is my number one favorite horror movie of 2024, The Substance.
One key point you're leaving out is that when you switch from your old body to your younger body, you have to sew up the back of the old body and keep it on essentially like life support. You have to feed it and all that shit. Like, while it's knocked out on the ground until you swap. And I watched this movie on Jared's recommendation, and I can honestly
No, we
tell you,
watched it together.
did we watch it together?
Yeah, me, you, and Joey
Yeah, that's
watched
right.
it
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah. It was very hard for me to stomach. I'm not a body horror person, and that movie just it messed with me for like a week after. I'm I'm not a fan of body horror, therefore like the movie didn't hit as hard with me. But at the same time, I give it its credit for probably being one of the best horror movies, especially because it had a strong psychological horror to it, and I love psychological horror. So
Phenomenal though. Like hugs, you would love it. You
I'll
would
give it
like
its
it, I think.
flowers.
It sounds gross.
Oh, it
Very.
is. It's very gross, but it's right up my alley. I love that gross, nasty shit in horror movies, man.
I imagine your alley is gross and nasty.
No,
But so there you have it, Jared's top 5 horror movies of 2024. We also have quite a laundry list of honorable mentions and movies you may have missed out on, and ones that he hates, so you probably should too. But thank you, Jared, for going through that. Thank you, Crispy, for throwing out all of the commentary on the ones you've seen. Is there any that he left out that you wanted to throw in there, or any that he didn't mention that you can think of?
No, because literally any horror movie from 2024 that I've seen this year was with Jared, and he mentioned all of them.
What
I'm
about the
glad you.
JoJo Siwa horror movie? You like that one? I didn't talk about that one.
All My Friends Are Dead.
Yeah, that one was good too. I didn't mention that one.
Oh, I forgot that was 2024. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. That one, great movie. I don't even remember the full premise of it. Essentially, like one
It's
chick
just a
trying to get
slasher
revenge.
movie.
Yeah, it's a
I like
slasher.
how you busted into doing the robot for a second. You're like, I don't exactly know.
But that was good. Um, what was that one, Jared? The PG-13 one that was kind of like Totally Killer.
Time Cut. Time Cut.
Time Cut. Time Cut. I would say was pretty good. PG-13 horror movies never hit with me. All the kills were off screen, but I did think the story was pretty good.
Woman of
Um,
the Hour.
Oh my! How did that not make the honorable mention? Oh, Woman of the
It
Hour.
barely missed out on it.
Anna Kendrick stars in this movie. She also made her directorial debut as a woman on a game show host, a dating game at that. Wow. It's like jumping between the story of her and one of the contestants who just so happens to be a killer. And it was so good. I don't look. You got me doing this now, Hugs. Anyways, such a phenomenal movie.
I love horror from 2024.
It's What's Inside was absolute ass. Or It's What's on the Inside was ass.
It's
Great
mid.
concept, poorly executed. Um, there's one more that I'm trying to think about, Jared, that we watch, and I cannot
Did
put
we
my
watch the
finger on.
Show Y'all Neighbors together? Or was that me and someone else? I don't
That
think
was
that
you and
was you.
someone else. No.
Show Y'all Neighbors
But I
was
feel
good.
like, goddamn, I don't know.
You cheated on Crispy? Wow.
I did with Chili for a bit. Look at that now.
Yep,
Look who's still here, huh? Look who's still here.
that's right.
I
Shout
don't
out to
see.
people that disappear. Anyway, moving away from this topic,
Yes.
thank you guys for giving up your top rankings and all these horror movies, especially because I don't watch a lot of horror, at least a lot of the newer ones. I'm much more into like the classics, the stuff that I grew up on that was long before me. But you guys are honestly the ones that keep me in the know of even what's happening. You guys are like the equivalent of like wrestling news reviews. Like that's how I keep up on wrestling. You guys are like my TikTok reviews, so I keep up
Crispy
on
Crack
horror
Coon
that
was the movie we saw.
That was one that we left off. One that was so horrible, it was good. Like, it was horribly great.
I do want to continue this conversation in our Discord. WatchViewCount.com/Discord. It's also in people's bios. It'll be all over the place, but WatchViewCount.com/Discord is the easiest way to get in there. And we want you to come in and have this conversation with us. Make sure to put the You're a Scaranoia fan and come continue the conversation. Come
And
chat
you'll
with
actually
us,
get
come game
in.
with us, come do whatever.
Yeah, and if you mark that you're a Scaranoia fan, you actually get notified as soon as the episode drops right away. Not even having to go and wait and search and see. You just click a link. Bam, you're there. Bam.
Bam. Anything else you guys want to add before we close it out? It's been a good episode.
It has been. I want to, it's coming out day after Christmas. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and wishing everybody a Happy New Year. We will be back, January 2nd?
Second.
Second, yes. So we'll be back right after the New Year, too.
Yep, we'll be back. Also, happy additional holidays to all of our other friends. And
I don't
happy
know.
Hanukkah to you, Remy. Happy Hanukkah, Remy. We love you.
Happy Chris Mahana Kwanzaa.
But thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week.